And how we doing, everybody? Hello. Welcome to Fenway Faithful. And we got a little something here from Chris Cotillo. Theo Epstein is at the winter meetings. Gotta love it. That's some nostalgia right there. How we doing, everyone in the chat? How we doing? Aiden, what's going on, man? Derek, Anthony, Scott, hello. David, what's going on? How we doing, everybody? Let's dive into it here. Pretty quick show for tonight. I just went live on the other channel. Covered a lot of rumors over there all throughout Major League Baseball, but we'll be focusing here on the Red Sox tonight. Now, diving in here, this was the big story for today, right? You wake up, you're sad, you're feeling down, you didn't get Juan Soto, and then we get hit in the face with all of this on Alex Bregman to start things off today. A little bit from Bob Nightingale yesterday that the Red Sox could be prioritizing a run, but then you saw Rob Bradford come out this morning, and or I think he actually said this last night, and a lot of people were waking up to it this morning, saying that the Red Sox were making a very serious push for Alex Bregman. You saw Alex Cora today at the winter meetings talking very highly of Alex Bregman, like he had just signed the guy, right? Like he was the newest member of the Red Sox, right? He had his time with Bregman during his days with the Astros, but he was talking very highly. What do we got here? We got sources. The Red Sox are among teams. We got a little Garrett Crochet update. We'll get to that in just a second. Hold on a second. I might have to go pull that up real quick. Hold on. What was that? Let's go here. The Athletic. That was a little something. I don't know what that story. Let me hold on a second. We're going to pause the show really quick. We just got something from the Athletic. It said sources. Okay, we got a couple of Red Sox notes that just dropped. Hold on. We'll get back to Alex Bregman in just a second. This was literally posted not too long ago. I just got the notification. Hold on one second, everybody. I guess this was an hour ago. I just got a notification for it. With top free agents, Corbin Burns, Max Fried still available, as well as other mid-rotation starters in Jack Flaherty, Sean Manaea, and Nathan Eovaldi, the Red Sox seem likely to be making a decision soon before other teams pounce. So they're saying here, starting pitching is our biggest area of need. We're having a ton of conversations with free agents, with teams, thinking about any number of paths to improving that. We have both a need for improving the quality and also the depth. Nobody has yet solved injury prevention. And if we find ourselves in a situation where some of our starters start to miss time or start to regress, we want to make sure there isn't a massive drop-off for what we have available. Well, this was an article. Again, what was that? Let me pull this up here. I got the notification. Is this the same article that just dropped? Oh, this isn't the right one. Hold on. This is from, I apologize, everyone. I just got this. Let me pull this up here. It was from Rosenthal. As I'm pulling it up here, and of course, it's not anywhere on. One second, everyone. I'm so sorry. Rosenthal. Let's go to. Did he post it on his Twitter account? Where even is this? I'm seeing it on my phone. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, we got a little something here. 12 minutes ago. Okay. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Boston Red Sox are among the other teams interested in Crochet. And the New York Mets and the Yankees are also going after Crochet. But the Mets and the Yankees were the most aggressive suitors as of Monday, according to two sources briefed on the White Sox discussions. No deal with any club was considered close. Okay. Well, you got four teams in the mix for Garrett Crochet. You got the Red Sox, which is no surprise, right? At this point, the Red Sox are very clearly a good trade partner. We already know the prospects that the Red Sox have. You know what? Honestly, let me just dive in. Let's get back to Alex Bregman in just a second. Let's focus on Garrett Crochet. at this point. We're on Crochet. Let's talk about this. Sorry, we're a bit of a wackadoodle start to the show. We all know the Red Sox. They are good trade partners, right? They got the big four. I think Marcelo Meyer would be a perfect piece to send back. You got a lot of middle infield depth. When you're looking at it from the Mets' point of view, all right, they got a lot of guys at the top of the farm. You got guys like Jet Williams, right? Drew Gilbert, Ryan Clifford. You got some guys that you could move. I think the Mets, I think they, based off their aggressiveness, I think they could be a threat. The Yankees, they got guys like Spencer Jones. I guess they were talking Spencer Jones, Garrett Crochet at one point. I remember the Yankees, they didn't want to deal Spencer Jones, and then I guess they changed their mind, but then the White Sox, I guess, had moved on. I don't know what was going on with that. That was around the trade deadline time. I think the Phillies are definitely a threat to land Crochet. You got guys like Justin Crawford, but they're offering a package recently of Justin Crawford and Alec Boehm. I mean, what kind of a package is that? I mean, I get it. You kind of want to, if you're the Phillies, if you could get Crochet for Crawford and Boehm, I mean, that's a freaking win. You should do that every day of the week. But I think the Red Sox, in the end, when it comes down to trade partners, I think they make the most sense. But that is the latest on Garrett Crochet. The Yankees also got Jason Dominguez. I think at this point, now that you're not bringing back Juan Soto, I think Dominguez, you have to keep him. I don't see how you can move him at this point. I don't know. I don't think about that. But Buster Olney reported Monday that the Yankees and the White Sox talked Crochet last summer, but the White Sox did not value. So that's it. I remember at one point the Yankees didn't want to deal him, and now you're seeing here that the White Sox, they didn't value the Yankees' position player prospects. When asked if the Yankees now have enough to entice the White Sox, an official with knowledge of the talks said, depends on how you value the top of their farm, presumably referring to Jones, Lombard Jr., and others. The Phillies made an offer recently. White Sox turned it down. The Red Sox, in dire need of a left-handed starter, appear an ideal fit for Crochet. But while their farm system is bursting with the kind of young position players the White Sox covet, Boston seems more focused on other pursuits. The Mets, on the other hand, have continued their pursuit. Details of the Mets' offer is not known. I'll mention the names. I think Drew Gilbert, guys like that. I think Jet Williams would be a guy that you have to consider. That's pretty much, I'll stick with what I'm saying. I think the Red Sox they're a perfect trade partner in the end for Crochet. We had this update here today. We had this from Chris Cotillo last night or yesterday afternoon. The Red Sox were on the periphery. They were not aggressors at all yet. The Red Sox right now, I really wonder if the Red Sox, they are going to land one of Burns or Fried. I actually am setting myself up at this point to be disappointed if the Red Sox don't get Burns or Fried. I feel like, I don't know why, I'm getting like a gut feeling that they're going to get one of those guys, right? We had Buster Olney. He put this out there today. You never know when it comes to these guys, when they're speculating. You never know. It says here, as we move forward in free agency, one possible fit worth watching, Max Fried and the Giants. He's being evaluated by contenders in the Northeast, but some executives wonder what his preference will be if it comes down to the Giants against the Yankees, Mets, and the Red Sox. Well, the one thing with Fried, there's always been this one little underlying thing with him is that he might want to go back to the West Coast, has family out there, girlfriend has family out there. I don't know if it's girlfriend or fiance, but there's a lot of connections with the West Coast with Fried. He grew up there. So that has been something that's been rumbling behind the scenes. So, really the only team at this point that could be a home for Fried on the West Coast in California would be the Giants. The Dodgers, I don't think they're going to be spending any more on the rotation. They already brought in Blake Snell. The Angels, Artie Moreno usually doesn't like to give out the big deals. Would Fried even want to go to the Angels? I don't know. Probably not. Padres, I don't know. The Padres, I think their main pursuit this offseason is going to be Roki Sasaki. So I don't know. The Giants, I think, would make a lot of sense. Fried is a ground ball guy. You got Willie Adames in the fold now. You got Max Chapman at third base. That's good defense behind you on the left side. I think Fried makes a lot of sense for the Giants if they want to spend the money. If you asked me a couple of weeks ago, you're hearing reports about the Giants wanting to cut some payroll, which ended up not being the case. They brought in Willy Adames. Then yeah, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was saying, no, I don't think the Giants really do anything. But then they were connected with Corbin Burns. Then they ended up signing Willy Adames. So I think the Giants, I mean, I don't know if I'm thinking about it, if the Giants were at one point wanting to cut payroll, I mean, I guess they kind of did, because Willy Adames is cheaper than Blake Snell on an AAV. So I guess as of right now, they have cut payroll. But if they wanted to add a starter, Fried would be the cheaper guy. So if he ends up going to San Francisco, then that could really open the door for Corbin Burns or the Dodgers. I mean, again, Corbin Burns, he's been connected with the West Coast too. Is Corbin Burns going to go to the Dodgers? No. Padres? No. I mean, Angels? I mean, unless the Angels threw like $300 million at him. I mean, maybe. But I don't see Moreno doing that. I'd be shocked. Right? Who knows? I mean, maybe the Angels come out of nowhere like an RKO from Randy Orton. But I don't know, man. I just feel like the Red Sox, they are positioned pretty well. But then again, you got to watch out for the Yankees too, because the Yankees supposedly, reportedly, according to Michael Kay, had a good meeting with Max Fried. So could you see a situation where Max Fried ends up going to the Yankees, Corbin Burns ends up going to the Giants, and then the Red Sox, they got nothing? I don't know, man. I think the Red Sox, they need to get something done with Corbin Burns. That I think personally, go get Corbin Burns, and then you turn your attention to the White Sox. Go get Garrett Crochet. Get that done. That's what I think. I think the Red Sox need to have Corbin Burns, Garrett Crochet. That to me would be such a win. If you do miss out on Garrett Crochet, whatever, let's say the Phillies, I say you could turn your attention to someone like Jesus Luzardo. He's been in the news a little bit. Where is that? I had that story. I don't know what happened to that. Okay, I guess I clicked out of that. But Jesus Luzardo is a guy to pay attention to. Oh, here it was. Jesus Luzardo drawing trade interest. He had a back issue this year. So that could be a guy as a fallback option. Maybe you could take a chance there. Either way, man, to me, Corbin Burns, Crochet, that is completely necessary. I don't know. I think Burns really, I was kind of thinking with Burns, that's probably not realistic because John Henry usually doesn't like to add to the top of the rotation, or he doesn't like to add top of the market starting pitchers, right? Did it with David Price. That was an exception. Could Corbin Burns be the exception? Could be, right? There is a need there. And if there is a guy that you might feel okay about, Corbin Burns could be that guy. He's been very steady over the last few years. He's not at what he was doing back in 21 when he won the Cy Young. He was off the charts. Since then, though, he's been a workhorse guy. I think that could be an exception. That's just me. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but we'll see. But that's the latest we got on Garrett Crochet. It looks like a 4-team race right now. Basically. Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, Phillies. Let's see. But let's get back to Alex Bregman. Let's get back to Bregman. That was what we started off the show with. And now that we got the Crochet update out of the way, I hit the wrong button. Let's get back to Bregman. Now, we were getting a lot of reports here that from beginning last night, once Juan Soto kind of ended, the Red Sox are going to be turning their attention to Alex Bregman. Now, I've been a big fan of Nolan Arenado for a while. I don't know if I've ever really talked about that all that much, but I've really liked Arenado. I'm a big guy. I like defense, right? I don't know. I'm kind of one of those weirdos out there that likes a good defensive player. I love those kind of guys, right? Arenado has always been so good defensively at third base, and he always had the good bat. You know, never watched Mike Schmidt growing up, but, kind of, seeing highlights of him from back in the day kind of gives me those vibes a little bit. Just a gritty player. Arenado, the bat, though, has dropped off, but I still like the idea of improving the defense at third base. So, yeah, I'm a big Arenado guy. But after thinking about it a little bit more, I really would like Alex Bregman, too. I really would. Bregman, I think, brings a bit of a different set of skills, right? They, in a way, kind of have similar bats, at least with the traits. Arenado's bat has regressed more over the last couple of years. Bregman's bat is still better. But if you think about it, they both pull. So I think both of them would be a good fit at Fenway Park. Bregman, if you go look at the slash line in his career at Fenway Park, I mean, he's off the charts. He has a 1.240 OPS in his career at Fenway Park. I mean, that is mind-boggling. Over 21 games, he's got 7 homers, he's got 9 doubles, 375 on the batting average, a 490 on base, a 750 slugging. Are you kidding me? Alex Bregman is a madman at Fenway Park. Arenado has good numbers at Fenway Park too, because they both have that kind of a swing that fits Fenway, right? And Bregman, the difference with Bregman, though, is that he has the versatility. Arenado is going to be at third. He can play first, right? That's something. But with Bregman, he's a guy that can play second base. The Red Sox got basically next to no production at second base last year. You know, you got David Hamilton there, but David Hamilton's more of a lefty bat at this point. You know, he can, come in and, against righties on some days, whatever. Vaughn Grissom's basically non-existent at this point. I wonder if Vaughn Grissom is even going to be a guy that even gets a chance. I don't know. If you bring in Bregman, I feel like Grissom at this point, he's going to have a hard time finding playing time. I don't know. But Bregman, he can play third. He would definitely be an improvement over Raffy. I saw someone put out there that Bregman made like less errors or something like that. But it's like, okay, come on. We're looking at errors? Can't be looking at errors. You got to look at the defensive metrics, right? Arm strength wise, yeah, Bregman's not going to be great. You could see why he would be a good fit at second base because he has a good range, but not much of an arm. So looking at the StatCast profile, you see a second baseman right there, but he's gotten the job done. The arm can definitely be an issue with Bregman, but defensively, he's been very solid there. I mean, if you go take a look at the outs above average, he's got a 5 fielding run value. I mean, that's pretty solid. And if you're looking at here, let me go to the advanced numbers here at third base. He had 6 outs above average this past year at third base. That's very good, right? Despite the weak arm, come on, people. We got to stop looking at just errors. Come on. We're way past that at this point. But Bregman, good defense at third base. If you need him to play there, he's a good profile for second base. And if Story goes down again, Bregman slides right into at shortstop. He can play shortstop, right? Played shortstop at LSU. In a pinch, I'm not saying he could be the everyday shortstop, but in a pinch, if you needed him to, he could probably play there for a couple games, right? And I see a lot of people out there. I see you in the chat, Lock Smart, Bregman will get overpaid. I mean, come on. I'm going to say this right now. Red Sox fans, listen, I love you, okay? But you can't sit here for the last 3 years. You can't sit here for the last 3 years and say, why aren't they getting anyone? Why aren't they signing anyone? Why aren't they active in free agency? Why are they not going after the big guys? And then you see the same people saying, no, I don't want to overpay for Bregman. No, Adames is he's going to cost too much. Juan Soto is going to cost too much. Nope, that's an overpay. What do you want, man? Do you want the player? You're going to have to go. That's what free agency is. It's negotiations. It's going back and forth. Listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money. And you know where I'm at? I want to spend some money. I don't care. Bring in Bregman for $200 million. Go do it. I want to add someone. You can't sit there and say over the last 3 years, the Red Sox aren't a serious franchise. They're not going out there and getting anyone. They're not. What happened to the Red Sox that we used to know? And then you go out there and say, I don't want to overpay for this guy, or I don't want to pay the money for that guy. Come on. Can't do that. You're going to have to overpay. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to do it at some point. Bregman, I think there's a lot of intangibles with Bregman. I think the bat fits well at Fenway Park. Good veteran guy. Has versatility. I think he fits very well. If you're looking, overpay, sure. Right? Let's say it ends up being $200 million. That is an overpay, for sure. I think Bregman is probably going to be realistically worth an actual contract for Bregman is probably 150 to 160. I think that's fair. Maybe 170. Maybe on the high end. $200 million is absolutely an overpay. But if it gets the job done, if it ends up keeping him away from the Yankees, who just lost Juan Soto, the American League champion Yankees, that's the team to beat in the American League. I don't care what anyone says. They just made it to the World Series. Our division rival, they just lost Juan Soto. Now is the time to go out there and get guys. Don't sit on your hands and, no, I don't want to pay for that guy. Nope, not that guy. No, I don't want that. Nope. I want that guy at that price. That's not the time to be doing that. You got the money. You're aggressive right now. Go out there and get something done. This is the chance to strike. This is the chance to do something. The Yankees are bleeding. Keep Alex Bregman away from the Yankees. You don't want someone like Bregman or Corbin Burns or Max Fried to go out there and go to the Yankees. Overpay for those guys. Absolutely. Do it. That's my rant. That's my rant. I would love Bregman. I think he would make a lot of sense. He has that versatility. He can move around. Good insurance policy. I think it makes sense. Now, also, I'll throw in this too. When it comes to the overpay part, I can understand if maybe people want to overpay for starting pitching. I can get that. But then I can argue with you. If there's one where maybe you want to be a little careful with, is the pitching. The pitching contracts tend to be not very good in the end. I'd say for a position player, those tend to, I feel like, end up being a bit more safe. A guy with the bat. Look at JD Martinez. That's the most recent example. I know Trevor Story wasn't a good example. But JD Martinez, you signed him to a lot of money. He ended up being a pretty good contract overall. Right? I think the position players, more often than not, I could be wrong, at least based off of feel, I feel like the position players, they tend to be better bets on holding value. Pitchers, they tend to be pretty short-lived. Right? I would totally spend on Corbin Burns. That I would. Max Fried, I'd be a little careful there. Especially when you have someone like Crochet, Luzardo out there. That I'd be a little careful with. Fried, I think you could get a few good years out of him, but I wonder about the back half of that deal. Burns, I don't know. I feel like Burns can hold pretty steady for a while. That's just me. I don't know. Who knows what I'm saying? My mind is fried. My brain is fried. Juan Soto has killed my brain. But Alex Bregman, I would love it. There's also been a little bit of noise here on, what was it? I think we had something on Arenado. Arenado is getting some noise on the Yankees here tonight. Sean McAdams said there have been preliminary talks about Nolan Arenado. So keep that in mind. I think Bregman, based off of feel, what you're hearing, Bregman seems to be the target. Arenado could be the fallback, but we also just got a couple reports here not too long ago that the Yankees are showing interest in Arenado. So I wonder if maybe the Red Sox and the Yankees are battling it out for Bregman right now, and Arenado is the fallback. So, Eddie, I see you. And, Cora, he loves Bregman. Loves him. Good ball player, man. But yeah, we'll see what ends up happening there. We got a little bit of an update on Teoscar. A little bit of an update here. According to John Morosi, the Red Sox are continuing to be the biggest threat to the Dodgers to sign Teoscar Hernandez. You all know me. I think he's a perfect fit. Would love Teoscar on the Red Sox. There's no arguing that for me. I think he's a perfect bat. Fits Fenway Park perfectly. I would love an offseason if you could get two guys, Bregman and Teoscar. Both have great numbers at Fenway Park. I would love that. Love that. Teoscar, swing made for Fenway Park. Bregman, made for Fenway. Perfect. But yeah, the Dodgers, after bringing in Michael Conforto, I don't know, man. I think the Dodgers would like to bring him back, but I wonder how far they're willing to go. I don't know. I think Teoscar, with the competition, Yankees, Red Sox, whoever else, they might push pretty hard for him. I think there's a good shot the Red Sox could end up getting him. I don't know, man. Just kind of looking at the tea leaves, I feel like that could be something. We also had a little something on Anthony Santander today. He would be my backup, my backup plan to Teoscar. I wouldn't mind Santander. He's a guy where he doesn't strike out a lot. He does walk a good amount, but he chases a lot. I feel like he could end up being, sure, he gives you the good power, but I feel like he could end up being someone where even though he gives you good power, he could end up be frustrating at the same time. I feel like I've seen Orioles fans talk about that. He just chases a lot, right? He kind of gets into, he seems to me like a home run or nothing kind of a guy. I don't know. That's just the way I see it a little bit. But with Santander, I wouldn't mind it. Obviously more from the left side. He is a switch hitter. He can bat righty. I could see Cora liking that. Cora likes flexibility. He likes being able to maneuver the lineup the way he wants. Santander being a switch hitter, I could see Cora preferring something like that, or at least liking to have something like that. It gives him a little bit of a little bit of flexibility there. So Santander, sure, as a fallback option, I wouldn't mind. Good power. That would be great for the deep right field at Fenway Park. So wouldn't hurt. The lefty bat that I wanted, though, was Juan Soto. I feel like getting Santander at this point, I feel like it's just going to remind me of Juan Soto, Like, oh, all right, well, you got the lefty bat, all right, but I kind of wanted Soto, all right, we got Santander, I guess. You know what I mean? Teoscar, it's like, Teoscar's different. He's a righty bat, got the green monster. That's what I'm saying there. But everyone, we got our last story here. And we had a little something again on Triston Casas. These stories aren't... Listen, I'm telling you, everyone, the Triston Casas stories, they are not stopping. Whether you want Casas to be traded or not. I know there's a lot of you out there that do not want to trade him. But the stories don't stop. They keep coming out. I don't know, man. Listen, I'm not saying he's going to get traded, but am I the only one that's noticing it feels like every day something is coming up about Casas? I don't know. Is that just me? But we had this today from the Seattle Times, Ryan Divish, talking about how the Red Sox and the Mariners were at least having a conversation about Triston Casas at one point. Bryce Miller, Brian Wu. I'll tell you right now, I saw a lot of people. I'm gonna push back on this. My Red Sox family, I love you, but I'm gonna push back a little bit. I saw a lot of people saying, "Really, Brian Wu? The Mariners should be giving us more if we're giving up Triston Casas." Hold the phone. Hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down there. Calm down. Starting young, club-controlled starting pitching that is good is very hard to come by. Triston Casas, as much as I love Triston Casas, I love the power potential. First baseman, you can look at it from your point of view where you're looking at the stats and you're looking at the potential. But the way front offices look at it, it's a little different. Of course, they see, lots of people out there in the baseball world, they see a very good potential power bat with Casas. But the way front offices look at it, they think, well, first base, it's not a very high value position. Yeah, Casas, he's very good, right? Not taking anything away from him. I'm more just pointing out young, talented, club-controlled starting pitching is way harder to come by than a first baseman. Triston Casas is not any first baseman. That is true. But when you combine, hold on now, let me get to my last point. You're probably yelling at me through the screen. Getting to my last point. Now, if Triston Casas wasn't hurt this past year, that might be a different conversation. When you combine the fact that Casas is a first baseman with the injuries that he's had, that's going to lower his value. Now, if he had been completely good to go, not hurt at all, put up, 35, 40 home runs this past year, played 150, there's a completely different conversation at that point. But he's missed a lot of time. And he's had the injury concern over the last couple of years. So, yeah, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, you got a lot of value with those guys. They got multiple years of club control. Each of them, I believe, have 4 more years. If I were to get, is it 4 more? No, Bryce Miller they both have 5. They both have 5 more years. 5 years. You're not going to get that easily. I mean, if Triston Casas was healthy, 35, 40 home runs this year, played a full season, yeah, you're probably looking at, you're pretty close in value. Then you can make the argument, I think. But Casas has been hurt. You're not going to be able to get Brian Wu or even Bryce Miller for Triston Casas right now. Right now. 40 home run Casas? Yeah, I think you're in the conversation at that point. Now, though, not so much, right? So I'm not surprised that the Mariners, they declined. They don't want to give up their pitching, right? That seems to be a thing. I think it's silly. I get it. They want to hang on to their strength. I don't know, but when it's clearly their offense needs help, Casas, I think, would be a great pickup for them. I don't know. I mean, that's what I think. I think that would be great for them to get Casas. I would hate to give him up. I really would. But, yeah, I'm not surprised, basically, what I'm trying to say. It's really the injuries. You can't trade Casas right now. You can't, because you're not going to be able to get full value for him. It's going to be hard. Unless, if a team out there, said, okay, we can kind of look past, the injury problems he's been having. We like the power potential. We can look past that. Could you maybe even see something with maybe the Pirates? Jared Jones. Something like that. The Pirates could do, not until today. They signed Anthony Rizzo. But I was even thinking that. Could you maybe do something, Triston Casas, Jared Jones? Something like that, That's kind of where I'm at, right? Casas, I think in the end, I just think you're selling low. And I feel like you're not going to be able to find the right trade partner. But as much as I would love to keep Triston Casas, as much as I would love to keep that bat in the lineup, you keep hearing these stories every day. I feel like it's every single day something is coming up. Is that just me? I don't know. But everyone, I'm going to wrap it up there. Over 200 people to end things here. Take a couple of comments here. Eddie, Wu is really good. People really think he's not worth it. I saw some people out there today, Eddie. I saw people out there. Brian, I don't know. I don't know if people realize how good Brian Wu is. David Young, Robbie, do you think Bregman signs the winter meetings? It feels like you're probably going to see that. It feels like there is momentum building towards that. I could see that. Swingman Lou, Wu, and Miller are gross. I would have last year. I really wanted Bryce Miller. I was really big on him. RJ, Robbie, who would you get to play first base if we trade Casas with Devers not being an option? Who do you think? Who would I want to play first? If we traded Casas and Devers was at DH. I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't really thought about that one. I think you'd look at free agency. Pete Alonso would be amazing. That bat at Fenway. Christian Walker too. I'd like that. I would really like someone like Christian Walker. Good clubhouse guy. He's very respected. I would like him. He'd be cheaper than Alonso too. I could see that being more realistic. I'd like Christian Walker. But the pipe dream is Vlad. That's the pipe dream. You're probably going to have to wait until free agency, but that's the dream right there. No offense to Casas, but I like Vlad Jr. Am I wrong for thinking that? I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Embrace. We need a big signing now. Man, I'm losing it. Don't lose the faith. Don't lose the faith. We'll get something soon. I feel like we're going to get something. Feel like we're going to get something this week. Feels like it's heading that way. I'm feeling it. I got a good feeling. Everyone, I'm going to wrap things up there. If you can, everyone, we only got 32 likes. We got 170 people in the chat. Can we get 100 likes on the way out? Hit that thumbs up for me. If anyone is new, think about subscribing. Also, everyone, we hit 2,000 subscribers. We hit a milestone. We got to 2,000. Thank you for helping us get there. Greatly appreciate that. That is awesome. 3,000 is the next goal. Can we get to 3K? We will see. But everyone, I'm out of here. I'm going to wrap things up. My brain is fried. I need some rest. I'm probably going to take tomorrow and just recover. I'm going to stare at my ceiling all day and probably take like 8 naps or something. I'm fried with all the Juan Soto stuff, the day one of their winter meetings. But we will be back tomorrow night. Make sure notifications are turned on. We will have a lot to talk about tomorrow. I guarantee it. It's the winter meetings. It's very busy. If there is anything that happens with the Red Sox, look out, because I might go live to react to something. So that's why you want to have the notification turned on, because I will go live if there is, anything notable to talk about, whether either on my main channel or here. I think if it's a big signing, it's probably going to be on the main channel. But if it's like something a little bit smaller, well, maybe I'll do it here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But everyone, make sure notifications are turned on. Either way, we will be back tomorrow night. Have yourself a great night, everyone. Go get some rest, and I'll talk to you next time.